Because we just watched Jarhead. Hey,
All right, let's
wait.
try to.
Take your beanie off right now.
What do you mean?
Take it off.
I can't. My headphones are on.
Take it off. Did you cut your hair?
I told you I did.
Show me.
I thought we had this
Dude,
conversation already.
oh my God, I thought you were lying. Show me right now.
No, when have I ever lied?
Right now. Dude, take it off. Get the fuck.
Dude, this is like longer too. No, she doesn't get to see this. She has to commit to you cutting your hair and her cutting her hair.
Oh my.
Because she was saying that it was only going to happen if
dude, when did this
I cut
happen?
my hair? Oh my gosh, you took a picture. Who are you? How'd you do that? I didn't even see your phone come out.
Dude, when did that happen?
December 30th?
Was it in mourning for the roommates leaving?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was my way of grieving and starting fresh physically and resembling a new era because just kidding. I buzzed it because Florida's really hot. So my hair wouldn't fare well in the humidity, so I had to get rid of it.
Are you moving with him, dude?
Because I'm moving to Florida.
Dude, what the hell? This is crazy seeing you like this.
Is it weird?
This is so wild.
Well, it's been 10 years, but I'm pretty sure you've seen me with short hair before.
Of course, I have pictures of you with short hair.
Dude, look how much it's grown. Watch, I'm going to send you guys a couple pictures. It's grown quite a bit in the last
2 weeks.
Yeah, what is it? I mean, it's the 18th. Dude, can you believe that we're the 18th of January already?
That's
2025 is basically over.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's already fallen over, but
you look so much like Desi in this one.
Dude, that's wild. That's literally what Amber told me. She was like, "Oh, yeah, I sent her that photo because she saw my Instagram post with my hair on the floor. Obviously, you didn't scroll to the last photo, but she texted me and said, "Send me a photo of your head now." And then she said I look so much like Desi.
Who is Sarah Hawley?
Sarah what?
Who is Sarah? Is it, dude, are you?
Oh, you're talking about my FaceTime?
Is this are you in a situationship?
Not at all. Sarah Hawley is married to Isaac Fox. So I hope I'm not in a situationship.
So cut this out. My fault, Isaac.
Well, how dare you, dude?
We have so much, so much to talk about.
Welcome to the Sweet and Condensed Podcast, a podcast by people who love movies, people, and the magic that lives where they meet.
Welcome to the Sweet and Condensed Podcast, first episode of 2025. We're so sorry. We took a 2-month hiatus. Josh was drinking. I was smoking. Lots going on. Just kidding, actually. It's going on second years sober. We do apologize. It was a combination of so many things, none of them excusable. So we're grateful to not have been fired. We hope you kept up with the podcast, the newsletter. But dude, we need to talk about something. Josh needs to publicly apologize for an incident that took place at a Taiwanese restaurant in 2024.
Excuse me? Okay, let's try to get through this podcast without getting canceled. One.
What happened? Tell us what happened.
It was a Thai food restaurant.
That's what I said.
You said Taiwanese, man. It's because of Dee Dee and the Devil, or that movie that you watched the other day. The Devil Don't Die. You're getting it all mixed up. So it looks like this story is backfiring.
Oh, shit.
I made a very common mistake, okay? I said thank you to someone. It was an empty restaurant. I said thank you for your service today, and I walked out of the restaurant when I got picked up for Thai. I don't understand what the problem is.
I love the way you make
trying to be kind and generous.
I love the way you make it sound, and the way Drew made it sound in his text too. That like you said, thank you for your service, and the way I read it was like they were in the military, like you were like saluting the flag, like thank you for your. I don't know why I pictured it like that, like this formal. Thank you for your service, Memorial Day or whatever. I don't Veterans Day. That's how I pictured it. I pictured you walking out like with this formal.
I mean, considering the landscape, the culinary landscape of the cuisine out here in Denver, it is combat. It's war out here. And I really do thank them for their service because their food is far superior than most I've had out here. So it's a battle.
Okay, beyond your racism, what do you want the people to know, dude? How do we do this? I feel so bad.
For our hiatus and our disappearance.
Yes.
It was a wild time, but 2024 was a blast, dude. I think we've been doing this for what, like a year and a half now almost. We're coming up on 50 episodes. We watched I think I watched 180 movies. I logged 180 movies of, not including shows, because hey, Letterboxd, if you're listening, it'd be really dope if you added shows so we can log them. Although they do have some like The Penguin, but they don't have a lot,
They didn't have
which is really,
Succession. I was devastated when I rewatched it.
I don't know how they choose that. Which, dude, we got to get to talking about rewatching Succession because I have some thoughts there. But yeah, I think I logged 180 something movies, and I think, yeah, our collective goal. What did you announce on Twitter? How many movies are you shooting for this year?
I think I hit 105, 106 maybe last year. I'd love to
Okay.
hit 150. I'd love to hit 150. But then I did see this thing. I saw this dialogue on Twitter of like, oh, some people just watch to log. And I don't think I did that at all. I just truly, dude, like, you're the same way. I don't think you just watch to log. I love logging. I love like my reviews, even though, the following's not real big on there. But like, if Kelly's at the gym, kids are crashed out, dude, I put something on. I'm like always, is it, the saying like kids these days are iPad kids because they can't go without
Yeah.
their iPads?
Right.
I'm some version of that with movies or TV shows. Like,
Oh yeah.
something's got to be planned. Anyways, I don't know. 150 is the goal.
I'm a TV big kid
Yep. See, there it is.
person. Because yeah, I fall asleep to. Someone was giving me shit the other day because they're like, "What do you mean you fall asleep with the TV on?" I was like, "Yeah, sometimes, most of the time, yeah, sure." Like, I just want to play something when I'm falling asleep and something familiar. So to your point, no, I don't really log just to log.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't, like, I fall asleep to the social. I have a rotate. I usually fall asleep to the Social Network, the big Short, Molly's Game, and I probably saw those numerous of times if you piece them all together. But I didn't log them. Otherwise, they would have been like 17 times over the course of a year or whatever, just because I watched them in different sections. But
You said Molly's
um,
Game? Is that one of
yeah, Molly's.
that's one of your,
Oh yeah,
really?
I think it's because it's quick-witted. The dialogue's like, I mean, anything that's Sorkin related is like very fast-paced, and I like love I know it sounds chaotic, but it does have a good pace, and I don't know, it just helps me go to sleep, I guess, because I know what's happening. Same, remember I was telling you, I don't have to spend much time on this, but Pulp Fiction's dialogue, like, I
Oh,
know it's
yeah.
coming, and that's a kind of insane thing to fall asleep to, like Pulp Fiction. But I don't know, it's something about, like, I've heard it so many times. It's kind of like, yeah, like a bedtime song. It's gonna put me to sleep because it has good pacing. But 150 is a good goal to reach, dude. I'm gonna try to breach 200. We need to get you on Patreon or Pro or whatever on Letterboxd because they have some really cool stats on there.
Tax return season,
They
baby.
you can see. So yes, tax season,
Hey.
get paid or pay out. I might have to pay this year, but
Oh, shit.
but it'll tell you what actors you've watched the most movies of, and it'll tell you like what directors and what producers. It's super fun. But anyways, let's see. Oh yeah, we posted on Instagram. If you follow us there, it's underscore sweet and condensed underscore. We posted our crew's favorite like top 12 movies of 2024. So let us know if you're listening. If you have top movies of 2024, shout them out in the chat. We want to hear what best movies ring true for you in 2024.
The most
Were you?
consistent. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, you, dude. We're guys. We're rusty. Okay,
We're rusty.
leave
We're
us
rusty.
be. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, were you surprised about 2024? Were you stoked about 2024? And that might lead into your question. I think you're gonna say we were most consistent with certain movies, but I think collectively we enjoyed movies. But I was just curious what your overall thoughts of 2024 were.
I loved it. I really enjoyed 2023. I think we started the podcast in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was like a prime time to start. Like Barbenheimer took place. Like there
Yep.
was so much happening in the theaters. There's box office numbers that talk about like if we're so back. Everybody's like, we're so back. When Barbenheimer happened, it's like theaters are back. There's some box office numbers like this last year, 2024. and 2023 were good years since the pandemic really slowed things down. So I'm glad we started the podcast last year, but 2024, I had a lot of fun diversifying like my palette. We always joke about like we always watch this horror. The fun thing was too, the crew I think diversified their palette, and Kelly especially, like Dune, she was not game. Afterwards, it was a blast. So like we really, which is it's okay to have your type of movie, of music, your genre, your like actors you love. That's awesome. I think that will never go away. But I think it is there's something to be said about exploring a different genre or movie you wouldn't normally watch. Like so, anyways, our top 12 is like, yeah, the consistency of Anora and Dune and I don't know. It was a fun year of movies. And watching I saw the TV glow, I added it. I don't think I was a super fan when it happened. Reflecting on it, maybe I got to give it a rewatch. Maybe I like it a little more, and I've seen some dialogue around it, but also the experience of watching it. I don't know. 2024 was a blast. Like there were some surprise hits. I don't know. And 2025 looks amazing too. Like I know we're going to get into that, but it's just like I think we started this project at a fun time 2 years, almost 2 years ago. And this last year we picked up steam, and 2025 just promises to be another banger.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I believe we started in August 2023, and I agree. It was a fun year. I mean, I definitely had to watch a lot of horror, like you're saying, broadening my palette and finding that I actually had some fun in some of them. You know, Speak No Evil was a fun watch. Cuckoo was very different, very weird, still horror, but it was super fun. Like it was definitely
Mm,
different and new. But to your point about I saw the TV glow, like that's one that's just memorable.
yeah.
Whether it was if pe- I don't know whether I think it's like top 10 or not. That's one of the movies I super remember in terms of the aesthetic, the message, the acting. And not saying the acting as in like it was the most amazing. It was
Mm.
like, no, the acting was different and kind of just jarring or attention grabbing in a way because yeah, it was just a very different movie that I've seen before. And I think the music and the colors, they're just burned into my memory. So I think yeah, it was a fun year. I really enjoyed it. Anora, but that's my movie. Like I want to laugh, I want to think, I want to feel heartbroken at the end. So like that was definitely not me broadening. It was just like, oh, that movie. It was like,
Reinforcing what you like,
oh
reinforcing
yeah,
what you love. I think too, like we've talked about it a million times, but I think this 2024 was the first time I used Letterboxd, and even then with the newsletter, it expanded the way I think about movies because I've always loved movies. We've talked about this a million times, but it's like, all right, my 5-star rating for Dark Knight is very different from my 5-star rating of some other movie or of Pulp Fiction or of like an Anora 5-star. They're all very different, and it's like, but the different reasons. And I don't know. This is a fun year to explore the way I consumed movies and shows too. There was a period
yeah.
where we were just binging a few shows, so I can't just say it was movies, right? Like I had to completely bully you, and it took an entire year, and Kelly into watching Severance. So again, it was
Oh yeah.
like shows and movies, yeah, which we'll talk about that here in a
I
little
didn't
bit.
even watch Severance in 2024.
Oh, that's
It was
right. You
2020.
just did. Oh my.
But yeah, it was, dude. And I think we had some good TV, and I'm very upset because we did our wrap up newsletter, and we were trying to nominate. We nominated a bunch of movies, actors, shows, different like our favorites. But the only kicker was that we all had to agree on it, so it wasn't
Mhm.
like our individual favorite, but it was more so like give and take and trying to make arguments and support which one is the crew's favorite movies and favorite shows and stuff. And I can't believe, dude, I forgot about Fallout. I don't know if you ever end up watching that, but there were so many shows
Oh
last year,
no.
like Shogun, Presumed Innocence, which I had to convince you to watch, and then okay, you had to convince me to watch, but which was really great. Penguin. There was a lot of like recency bias with Penguin. Not
Yeah.
it was an amazing movie, but what I mean, not bias, I shouldn't say blinders that were put on because Fallout was so much fun. And I forgot that came out in 2024.
The award shows, like I know we're going to talk about potentially later in another episode, like Golden Globes and Oscars, but like they do the same thing. Like Dune just and Challengers, these other movies are really getting pushed aside for recency bias. One I set of one sort of recency bias that I appreciate is the substance because I just read that Variety is now thinking I heard her name pronounced a few different ways, but I just call her Demi Moore. Someone was like Demi. I don't know. Demi Moore might be the favorite for Best Actress, and so
Mm,
it would, as like a horror fan, that would be just like a phenomenal thing. I
right.
don't think it's going to happen. But there's dialogue around that. That's like another set of recency bias, like Dune, just because it was a March release or April release,
It was March.
March release. It's not getting love, you know.
No, no, and which I don't know if it's like also the sequel like mentality. A lot of people hate on sequels.
The
Uh,
second in a trilogy too.
yes,
Like I
second in
remember
trilogies,
the Two Towers, Lord of the Rings,
right?
right? It's like just the middle child.
And then the third one just swept.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I shouldn't say hate on. It's just more not looked at, I guess, as intent intensely. But I will say that I'm trying to figure out my letterbox ratings, like to your point about how your letterbox 5 and letterbox 5-star looks differently on different movies because I found out I gave out 4 stars to like a shitload of movies and that's like my go-to is 4
Is
stars
four?
because I feel bad doing 2.5, but then I realized that's like half. That's like, and not that 50% is that's failing in school settings, but
Yeah.
2.5 stars feels like, oh, that's not bad out of 5 because there's not many 5 movies and there's probably not a lot of half-star movies. So I'm like trying to like figure out how to better rate my movies. That's just more of a personal journey that I decided to share in this moment.
I love
But
it.
The Substance was my last watched movie of 2024. That's how I
That's
rang in the new year.
incredible.
And I knew nothing about it, like, in terms of, like, I knew it was wild and I knew it was about like, I knew the main parts. I didn't know it was gonna be centered around a New Year's Eve announcement and event, so watching it on the 29th or 30th was just very on the nose, and it was great.
Okay, real quick. I know this episode's all over the place, but give us a break, right? It's been 2 months. We last night before, I finished A Real Pain, and Kelly didn't watch it with me. But last night, Josh texted us about something, and he's like making fun of my review of it, and texted us and was like, "Oh, cousin fucking," just like no context. My review on Letterboxd was talking about like cousins and going through like the worst times with cousins, but Josh out of nowhere just like sent cousin fucking in the text. So Kelly was like, we were talking after the text, and an hour later, I was like, "You would really like A Real Pain. I think we should watch it." She's like, "Isn't it about incest though? Like, are they lovers or what?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "Yeah, Josh it was Josh sent something about cousin fucking," and I was like, "No, that's why I said he needed a comma." But she literally thought it was about two cousins who became lovers, and she was like, "I don't think I want to watch that." Really?
Are you done? This is what happened. Eric, this is the full context. Eric wrote a letterbox review that said some of the absolute fucking worst times of my life were experienced with my cousins, and so were some of the best. Cousins rock. And I was saying, dude, because I texted him about something, and he's like, "How dare you interrupt texting during Severance time?" Because it was the night of it released. And then he's like, "Just kidding, I'm not even watching it." And then he got mad at me for not telling him about A Real Pain because we posted about it on the producers put it on social media, and he was like, "How dare you not tell me?" And I was like, "Dude, it literally released today." Anyways, he was yelling at me about this and that. So I was getting him shit saying like, "Oh, you yelling me about not watching Severance. You're yelling me about not letting you know about A Real Pain, and you haven't even watched them yourselves." And it's like Friday night. And then he goes, "How dare you? You haven't seen my letterbox." And all I said was, I was giving you shit, like cousins fucking horrible times. Like I was trying to like
But he
give you
didn't
the
have
spark
any
notes of
comma
his
in there.
letterbox.
It
Sure, the grammar was kind of left out. It's like great times, yada yada. Just want to give you shit, and then that's how it got out of line. So, anyways, I watched it too last
Oh,
night,
did you rewatch?
and I did because I figured we'd watch it, and since we're gonna talk about movie swap at some point with Kelly, and I'm very upset because they were like, "You need to find another movie for movie swap," and I was like, "All right, got one. Boom! I'm gonna make Kelly watch Real Pain," and then Eric went ahead and watched it, but it's okay because it's really good, and it's I think better on my second watch, but it's really great. It's not about sex at all. No one's having sex, I don't think. And yeah, it was a good time. It's on Hulu. So
Good time
thanks,
is a
Eric,
stretch. No, there's some.
for
It is a complete full watch, like we used to talk about. There are some like, yeah, it is. It is. I won't say it's a great time. Some
oh my gosh.
heartwarming
Well,
moments.
you didn't really like it.
No, I loved it.
Oh,
I
okay.
just got feel really sad the
You don't
majority of
think
the
it's a
time.
good time? Oh, you're saying it's a great movie, but it's not good in that.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, the way you said it was like it's a great time in the same breath that you would say,
I guess,
nobody
yeah.
wants this is a great time. I'm like, okay, pause, right?
Oh, you want some you want some nuance. Okay, yeah, it is pretty depressing, dude. The opening, and then especially if you see dude, watch it. What if you watch it a second time knowing the ending, you're watching it with a different lens, and it is just even more
Ah,
depressing. And the ending is just it gets me, dude. It just makes me wanna, yeah, cry. So, anyways, we won't ruin it for you, but, Eric, what about, if you're ready to move on,
yeah, yeah.
2025? What is the
Oh,
excitement? What are we looking towards?
I just recently watched the trailer for The Monkey, which is a Stephen King adaptation, and it's starring. Okay, so Oz Perkins is doing it, who recently just crushed with Long Legs. He has some other creepy shit that happened. Gretel and Hansel. That was a few years ago. That was a long time ago. Only 5 years ago. I'm dramatic, but it features Theo James, Elijah Wood, Tatiana Maslany. I'm not familiar with the game. I'm so sorry, but we know Theo James rocks.
Yeah, the working title for this movie was, Zaddy Long Legs.
That is
Yeah,
an,
so that way people didn't know.
an ode to his big dong in White Lotus, which was not prosthetic, apparently, allegedly. Allegedly, it looks gnarly, like so good. Potentially possessed killer monkey that has the same vibes as the monkey from Toy Story 3. If you've seen Toy Story 3, maybe it's Toy Story 4. Hold on. One of those is 3 or 4. There's like this crazy clapping monkey. That's what this is, but he's murderous. There's just so much horror. There's 28 years later, The Presence, which is coming up in just a couple of days. Um, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is one that I just was made aware of. Paxton is super into Five Nights at Freddy's. He's not seen the movie.
Really?
Everybody chill. He's been asking for it. He's like, my friend at school has seen it. I was like, well, we love you, so we're not going to let you watch this absolutely violent movie.
Have you seen it?
The first one,
Yeah,
it's only PG-13, but still, I'm like, if
but have you seen it? I haven't seen it.
yeah, yeah, I liked it a
Oh,
lot.
okay.
Fans of the game,
Yeah,
super torn in two. Some loved it, some hated it. I was not a big like guy
okay.
into the game. I just loved it as a horror movie. Anyways, lots of horror in 2025, which is going to be awesome. I'm very excited. But can you speak to non-horror fans about what's coming out in 2025? Aside from the other one was Mickey 17. That's another big one on my list.
Okay.
Aside from that one, what's on yours?
Dude, I'm so stoked. Everyone knows or should know, and if you don't, if you're new here, know I'm a Robert Pattinson stan and apologist because people on this show, not to name names, sometimes really hate him, and I don't really understand it. But Mickey 17 is going to be amazing. It's Bong Joon-ho's next project, and it has Stephen Yeun and Mark Ruffalo. I think it's Ruffalo, but I like calling him Ruffalo. And yeah, anyways, I'm super stoked for that one. And it just looks like entirely fun. And Robert Pattinson does these like weird accents all the time or changes his voice. I don't really know what he's doing in this one, but it's perfect. Whatever it is, it's working. And I'm bringing up Robert Pattinson too because he's in another one with Jennifer Lawrence,
Mm,
Robert Pattinson, that I'm pretty stoked about. Let me remember. It's like I'll Die Here or
yeah,
something, and it's about Jennifer. Die My Love is what it's called, and Jennifer Lawrence is like on the edge of just spiraling and losing her mind, and so I that's all I know. But I love unhinged Jennifer Lawrence, Silver Linings Playbook vibes. It seems maybe a little bit with Robert Pattinson, and then also Robert Pattinson's in another movie with Zendaya, and I think it's called the Drama, and that one's coming out this year as well. So it's a
interesting.
year of Robbie P. I'm just stoked. I'm excited about that. We're getting the Sling Song's sophomore movie. She did her directorial debut was Past Lives, and again, sad, love, romance, broken hearts, all that stuff, right up my alley. So I don't know exactly what this next one is necessarily about. I just know that it has Chris Evans. There's some sort of love involved. It's called The Materialists. It's set in New York. It's got Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal, and I know
Oh,
Dakota Johnson's kind of a split. Again, there's polarizing opinions about Dakota Johnson,
especially within the crew.
especially within the crew. I discovered Dakota Johnson, like, I've known of her because of, the 50 Shades series, but I never watched them. But maybe I watched the first one in college. I don't remember. Anyways, but Our Friend, Peanut Butter Falcon, Cha Cha Real Smooth. I'm like, how can you hate her? So, anyways, maybe I haven't seen enough, Madam Webs out there for me
Oh,
to
Mike.
truly dislike her or something. But anyways, that's gonna be great. Dude, are you a PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson fan?
I think I've seen
Like,
one of his films.
okay, There Will Be Blood?
Yeah.
Honestly, I have only seen Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, and Licorice Pizza, and Phantom Thread. Never mind, I've seen a lot, but I've never seen The Master or Inherent Vice, and they're usually pretty weird. I think There Will Be Blood's the only one I kind of like super love. The other ones I'm not really sure how I feel about, but I know people really like him. He's a very distinct filmmaker, but he's coming out with Leonardo
Oh, I'm
DiCaprio.
so sorry. The Master, of course. I only watched that once though, and that was like
And you liked it?
at least 10 years ago. I don't remember it very
Okay.
much. I'm just looking at his work.
Oh, okay. I know
Eek.
Joaquin Phoenix and Philip
Philip
Seymour
Seymour
Hoffman,
Hoffman. Hey, real quick,
but he's working with Leo. Yes, go ahead.
you were mentioning Robert Pattinson. If you haven't seen it, don't even watch the whole movie because it is not worth the watch. But it's got Tom Holland, Bill Skarsgård, Riley Keough, and Robert Pattinson. It's called The Devil All the Time. It's like a crime thriller. His accent is outrageous. It's out of this world. I don't know what he is aiming for. I'm not. It's like it's a Southern movie, something about a Baptist, something. Not maybe kill me if it's great. I don't remember it being good. I was not a fan. But so don't watch the movie. But The Devil All the Time. Just look up a scene with him, and it's like I have no idea what he was aiming for. It is unbelievable. It's great. It's like it just adds to his lore, though. Like he's a fantastic actor.
Oh yeah, dude. The Boy and the Heron. It will always
Oh yeah,
be like also a very shocking. Like,
you're like
that's Robert
yeah.
Pattinson. It's great. It's great, dude. I can't believe you didn't mention 28 Years Forever Ago,
Oh,
or whatever it's called.
absolutely, dude. I've written about that so much, and I think it's been in the newsletter, and that is going to be a banger. I do want to say something. Not a big musical guy. Didn't watch Wicked when it came out. My son went to watch it with his grandma. He liked it a lot. So we were listening to the soundtrack quite a bit. And when it came out on digital, he said, I want you guys all to watch it. And I said, okay. So we bought it. Freaking loved it. I did not know. Was not okay. What's her name? Oh gosh. Oh
Cynthia
man.
Rivio
Yes. Okay. She is in this
and
show.
Revo.
Yes. She's in this show on HBO called The Outsider, which is a short story Stephen King adaptation, best-selling novel of the same name. Features Jason Bateman, Ben Mendelsohn. Came out 5 years ago in 2020. It is creepy as shit. Don't watch it. Super demonic, super possession. The Outsider. She's the lead detective. Crushes. And so when I saw the press and everything about Wicked, it never clicked. But as we were watching it, I was like, where have I seen her before? So, anyways, we watched the trailer later that night. Kelly and I without the kids for The Outsider because I've seen it. Kelly didn't watch the show, and she crushes in The Outsider. Like, so she's got some range. She's this like disturbed detective in The Outsider. Anyways, I was emotional in Defying Gravity. Like, that was gnarly. Like, it was so good. First, and then second, Ariana Grande. I'm sorry I wasn't familiar with your game. Like, she was hilarious. Because again, the soundtrack was playing in my house for weeks. Popular, all the songs. But like seeing her mannerisms on screen it just so good. And I don't know the perception of her in like the film world. And obviously there's the Twitter dialogue, but like I thought she was great. Like actually so funny in these scenes. And anyways, my eyes are open to musicals. Like I haven't even seen The Greatest Showman. Cancel me. Maybe don't put that in this podcast. Like I might go watch it now. Like we will be seated for part 2 in November. So I brought that up because it's a 2025 release, and Paxton's asking me, he's like, "Hey, when is it coming out?" I'm like, "Not till Thanksgiving, dude." So, anyways, we'll be seated for that one for sure. So it's not just horror on the slate. There's some good musicals.
It's good musicals,
Oh,
dude. Oh,
speaking of musicals, we watched the first 20 minutes of Joker 2 and didn't
oh,
finish. We didn't even continue, dude. So sorry. Just speaking of musicals and bad music.
it was. I saw a Letterboxd review. It's like I've never seen something so beautiful be so bad or something
Oh,
because the visuals were pretty sick. But I'm right there with you, dude. Musicals, yeah. I'm there. I'm not. La La Land sold me on musicals,
yeah.
and I was very blown away by Wicked. I had a lot more fun than I expected, and I agree. Ariana Grande's what is it? Comedic timing, her comedy,
Oh,
they were great. Her body acting was great. It was hilarious. And yeah, dude, Cynthia Erivo, I first saw her in Bad Times at El Royale. Shout out
oh God, such a good
Drew
movie.
Goddard. Shout out Los Alamos. It's that one's fun because it's like Quentin Tarantino meets Wes Anderson ish. Just the way that they did colors, the way they did symmetry, and also the content was like kind of
Dakota
like
Johnson,
non-linear.
she's in it.
Dakota Johnson's in that. You're
Come
right,
on.
and Hemsworth. That one, yeah, that one's a good movie that I slept on for too long. But and also not just, yeah, I gotta plug some non-indie, movies that Josh gets really excited about, like Marty Supreme. Timothy Chalamet is coming back now with Josh Safdie, but that one's gonna be super cool. But it's Happy Gilmore, dude. Happy Gilmore 2. We're getting Happy Gilmore 2
This
in
year? I thought it was
2025.
next year.
According to Rolling Stone, we're getting Happy Gilmore 2 this year, which I'm excited. If even if it's bad, I'm excited about. Growing up watching
100%.
the first one, Shooter McGavin, dude. And the other dude. Okay, so I don't know how you're feeling about superhero movies, and I don't know how you feel about James Cameron and Avatar, but
Mm.
I could care less about what people can call me whatever they want. I love Avatar. I'm a stan for Avatar. I will watch every single one of them. People say they're basic. The movies, though, are also well done and great storytelling, I think. And I don't care if they're like basic storytelling. Dude, I love them. I eat them up, dude. I watch them on IMAX. I watch them the day they come out, biggest screen possible. This one's coming around Christmas, so I'm hoping to be in Albuquerque so we can watch it on the AMC
Ooh.
South Valley. Dude, that screen is so sick. I think it's the biggest one I've been to in the Southwest, but
And it's the
um,
cheapest.
and it's the cheapest. $12 for an IMAX movie? It's like
Dude,
$12.50.
that's how much a Flixbrew ticket is on a Friday morning.
That's wild, dude. IMAX I hear is $22 a night.
Dude, that's
It's a trip.
crazy.
But shout out AMC A-list stubs. I
Speaking
get
of,
3 a week.
isn't Superman 2025?
And then the reason I was gonna bring up Superman is because the superhero realm. And honestly, I've never really, other than the Nolans, the DC movies are pretty rough. But James Gunn did some really cool stuff with Suicide Squad, the second one that was made. But dude, this trailer, I was sold. I was like, I don't know, dude. I'm in.
I don't know
This
what it
trailer is
is.
so damn good.
I wanted to hate it because I love Henry Cavill. Like I just couldn't get into those movies. Batman versus Superman, every part of my being was trying so hard opening night to love it. I couldn't.
Right.
Like I wanted to so bad. I even I remember vividly going back to rewatch the trailer because I loved the trailer so much. Like the "Do you bleed?" and he's like, "You will." Ben Affleck, I think he crushed. I think he's a great Batman. They had some great fight sequences. They just couldn't stick any landing at all. Um, so this trailer got me hyped. So I was
Yes.
super stoked for it. But your point, dude, I'm sorry. Suicide Squad, that second one, John Cena and the crew, unbelievable.
It's a blast.
So much fun. And it kills me that the first one tarnished the name because I know it didn't do well like commercially. But that was a freaking fun movie. So yeah, we're in good hands with that. And also Guardians of the Galaxy is a fun time. Like that whole world that they created there is fun. I mean, there's
Yes.
so many
Yeah.
worlds, right, with Marvel and these others, but Guardians of the
Uh-huh.
Galaxy folks are cool. And like Yeah, Suicide Squad. I watched it for the first time this year in 2025.
Okay.
Earlier this year. Or 2024, I'm so sorry. Last year. Early 2024. And I was like, how the hell have I not seen this?
It's
Anyways.
fun, and a part of that is probably just the DC, bias or prejudice. You're just like, "I wanna stick away," because I did the same thing. I didn't watch it for a very long time. I forget when I finally actually watched it, but, the see, that's what's so cool about this trailer, and it's not when you were saying about Ben Affleck and the other trailer where he's like, "Do you bleed? I'll show you that you do," or something or whatever you
Mhm.
said. This one showed that. It didn't say that, and I think
Yeah.
showing it was so much cooler because it's like, dude, you open up with, like, an invincible, pseudo god who is supposed to be like, what's it called? Zero weaknesses and unbeatable unless it's like kryptonite or whatever. Opening scene is like him messed up, bleeding from the
Yeah.
mouth,
Yep.
just absolutely like vulnerable and helpless. I was like, dude, this is genius.
Yep.
It got me sucked it right in because I went in being like, oh, I'm gonna hate on this
Yeah.
for whatever reason. And I'm like, dude, how can I? This guy's about to die. And then he's being dragged by a little puppy. So I'm in. I'm in. So
Hell yeah,
any
dude. Yeah, there's some good
anything
stuff in
else good?
2025. No. We were gonna talk about Succession rewatch, right?
Yes, you're rewatching Succession right now. Yeah, how's that going? Why is it so rewatchable for you? What season are you on too? Sorry, that was like 18
No,
questions.
okay.
The Rust.
I just finished it a couple days ago. All four.
Oh,
And
geez.
I'm gonna tell you why I rewatched it. There's a new Christmas movie that came out in 2024 called That Christmas. Kids animated film.
Oh.
Brian Cox is Santa.
Oh, no
And
way.
when we were watching it around Thanksgiving, when did it come out? We watched it like the first week. It came out October 2024. So yeah, we watched it in around Thanksgiving. I was like, wait a minute. No shot am I hearing Logan Roy be this gentle Santa Claus caring for the kids, talking about them praying and not. I'm like, Logan Roy, every other word is like calling someone a bitch in Succession is Santa Claus. That literally is the reason it triggered me into watching Succession again. Like hearing him as Santa, the kids went to bed the night we watched it, and I threw it on. I was like, I have to
That's
see Logan Roy.
funny.
Anyways, I don't even know if it's there's certain aspects of it that aren't super rewatchable, but they do such a good job with the casting of every single character that is, I don't know. It's just such an enjoyable show to me. People might disagree. And then in the final season, when he dies, spoiler alert, so sorry, I won't even say who he is. Anyways, when Logan Roy dies, like the way they display grief on screen is just so gnarly. Yeah, it was good. It was a killer rewatch. I hadn't rewatched all the way through since the final season came out.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've only watched it one time all the way through, and I'm currently on season 1, episode 4.
Oh, okay,
But the
okay.
reason what's exciting, like you're saying about grief and the characters, and that season 4 was the last thing I watched, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
And just seeing how good and how amazing it was, and then as when you talking about rewatching it, I was like, I'll give it a shot." And I put it on, dude, and I was like, again, and I knew it was good, but I was even more hooked. Again, similar to what I was saying about Real Pain, knowing how it ends, you just start picking up things, dude. Like, there's a scene where they're talking about who's gonna replace in episode 1, I think, very, very beginning. They're like, who's gonna replace Logan Roy as the head honcho of this company, and they say, "Oh, it could be anybody," and they rack focus at that point, dude, and it blurs the people talking and puts in focus someone who happens to be the person who gets it's just like I don't know if it's
Really?
intentional, but like, dude, I'm just watching these little things and about how when they're talking about like, oh, Logan Roy, because Logan Roy goes to the hospital like episode 1, he's sick, episode 2, he's in the hospital or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
And so early on, they're talking about is he gonna live, is he gonna die? Dude, Roman's adverse, like his unwillingness to address the fact that his dad might die. He's just like, no, he's gonna be fine. No, he's gonna be fine. And you start seeing early on these like feelings from these characters that then season 4, when they display those, emotions, and they're in different contexts and situations that just make so much sense. Like there's just so many things that also I forgot Greg.
Dude, it is that might make it the most rewatchable show because of Greg and Tom.
I forgot how absolutely ridiculous and unhinged and entitled and just stressful cousin Greg is. Like when he throws up out of his eyes in that costume, oh, I couldn't, dude. I was like, I forgot this is, but the way he just barges in there and somehow gets a job, but stressing me out. Oh, dude, their friendship.
They're the most unlikable group of characters ever put on TV. Like the way Roman rips up that check in front of the kid in episode 1, like,
Yes.
and you're still
Yep.
invested. But to your point about Roman displaying that, like, one thing I could appreciate about that made it feel so real, the grief in the end, was like they have that super stressful relationship, dad and kids, in every season, like hate, disdain, disgust. And it doesn't really go away. Sorry, spoiler ahead. It doesn't really go away when Logan dies. When they're on the phone, they're grieving, they're crying, they're like hyperventilating, trying to figure it out. But then Kendall's like, I don't think I can forgive you. When he's on the phone with him as he's dying. Again, I gave you a spoiler alert earlier. And it's like, it wasn't this, they didn't shift the script or the tone or the way that the kids saw their father to make it like this beautiful ending of we love you, we miss you so much. They showed the grief because they are grieving, yet each one of them had their own turmoil and trauma because of their dad. And that's still, I just appreciate that they didn't shy away from that. They weren't like, oh gosh, we just love him so much, we just miss him. It was like, I hate you, I love you, I don't think I can forgive you. I'm gonna miss you, but like I can't believe what you did. Like the way they showed that was just so amazing. But you're right about who becomes CEO. The early seasons,
it's a trip,
like
dude.
the abuse he goes through verbally and everything, and just knows he's like just gonna be the obedient corporate dog. And is it gonna pay off? And like, sure enough,
Right.
that's
Which
crazy.
it's even funny saying that because they all get abused. It's so wild, dude.
Could be anybody.
I don't know if I'll there's a lot coming out, so I don't know if I'll continue like as fast paced.
For sure.
But I do want to at least try to watch a little bit more of it. But dude, it's just speaking of to touch back real quick back on 2025 anticipation, but shows, dude, I binged Severance earlier this 2025, and I owe an apology, obviously, to you and Kelly and every other person that told me to watch this show because they said it was amazing. It's so weird because I knew it was amazing. I always do it with shows where it takes me forever to actually listen, even though I know it's going to be amazing. But I love like Severance. The first episode, it was good, and it was good enough to get me to keep watching. And then it just like it's like this slow, and then just ramps. So episode 3, 4, I was like, oh, I can't stop. Like I think I watched it in 3 sittings, and
Wow, that's really impressive.
dude, it was like irresponsible, staying up till 1, 2 in the morning, going to sleep, and then doing that for 3 nights in a row. Because a big pressure was season 2 coming out, and I'm really thankful that it's dropping 1 episode at a time, so we can not have to binge. And I love being in the discourse like slowly all together. Like we're seeing conversation online all at the same time, and there's not really spoilers if you watch it day of. And yeah, there's just so much more fun and parasocial activities going on
Unbelievable.
when it's that way. So anyways, I thought episode 1 of season 2 was fine, but I'm very excited for to see how it unrolls because I think it's set up so much. Oh, hey Kelly, how you doing?
Let me see.
No, that was Chat GBT
You're lying.
1000.
Pull it.
Yeah,
The people need to see.
The people already saw. Kelly's already seen pictures too.
They were photoshopped. You
none.
actually did it?
Yeah, because you said if we all shaved our head, you were going to.
Hold on.
So I did it.
She can't hear you.
Oh.
Oh my God.
He's all defending himself.
I told you if you said if we all shave our head, you were going to. So I
mean,
said done and done.
Paxton upheld his end of the deal.
I haven't.
So we're just waiting for Eric. So once
He
Eric
did.
goes
He
zeros
did, yes.
down,
Like 2 days ago, he just took an electric razor and just like went like this and went, "Ugh," and then he
started
just had it. And
trimming.
he was like, "Is this bad?"
Paxton?
No, me.
No, Eric.
Well.
Oh my gosh! Wait, I'm sure you already told the story, but what made you do it? Were you just over it?
I just told you.
That is
You
not
said
true.
you'd
You're
buzz your head.
lying.
No,
Lie.
I when we were talking on the phone the other night, it was already buzzed. So that's why I was like, yeah, let's do it. It was I did it on December 30th.
You were gonna gaslight
So
us?
it was a
You're
few
gonna
weeks-
gaslight him into shaving his head?
Yeah, you gotta fight fire with fire.
How would I look?
Do you feel free?
You look great. I do feel free. I do.
You feel
It's been
cold?
great. I feel cold. Oh, definitely cold. I have to wear beanies all the
Is
time.
that why you're wearing a beanie?
Inside.
Yeah, well, because also I turn the heater off so it doesn't pick up on the microphone. So
Oh,
it's getting
gotcha.
a
It's a little
it's like,
chilly.
just a little bit. I think it's like 4 degrees right now. We had a cold
Front.
what's it called? Yeah, it's 13 degrees right now,
What is it?
and
38
the
here?
low for tonight
feels
is
freezing.
1.
I walked across the street and I almost froze, and it's almost 40 degrees.
It's gonna be
here.
-7 in
Oh.
Denver tomorrow.
That's it. I'm telling you, if it was 40 right now, I'd be short sleeved outside. But yeah, no,
my.
the head gets cold, and also when I'm putting on clothes or going into the shower doing something, my hands go to my hair to like put it up or take it down, and it's like this phantom limb
You're gonna feel it
thing. No
forever.
offense to the amputees, but yeah, it honestly does feel like I'm missing a part of me, because I'm not kidding you. It sounds joking, and I partially say it as humor, but also like it's legitimate, like this weird brain, like oh, I don't have it, and I think I do for like split seconds at a time. When I go to lay down my head, because normally I like adjust my hair, and I'm like, no, it's not there.
Nothing
It's
there.
so
That is
weird.
crazy.
It's so
10
strange.
Oh my
years.
gosh.
But
Okay, I'll let you guys finish because I'm coming soon.
yeah, you're coming on here soon, so
And I can't have this pink hue.
we'll wrap up this.
I said I'm happy to not be on the potato for once, babe.
That's good stuff. Anyways, Severance 2, episode 1.
Oh, I know. We're gonna talk about that.
Watched it, right?
We're gonna talk about that in the next episode. Severance,
Oh,
season
my
2.
bad. I jumped the gun.
Yeah, how dare you?
I misread the producer notes, which honestly, probably then, if you want to say some last things and then I'll close this out, that's a good way to say, hey, we're going to close out. Tune in on the next episode.
Tune into the next episode, Severance season 2. Subscribe to the newsletter. Shout out Brian Lee.
Always shout out Brian Lee. Hey, and if I'm going to try my best to get the producers to put links to every movie that we talked about. We'll see if that goes through, if it gets approved, in the show notes. So check out the show notes potentially for all the things we just chatted about. And yeah, subscribe to the newsletter. New year. We're coming up on 1 year of at least a weekly newsletter out every Friday. And then sometimes we get 2 a week. Since March 1st. Dune Part 2 was the first movie. So we're coming up on our year anniversary of the newsletter. It's a big year. 2-year anniversary of the podcast in August, and 1-year anniversary of the newsletter in March 1st. So,
How exciting is that?
So we're trying to bring on as a bunch of people to celebrate. So please subscribe there at sweetandcondensed.com and join the party, join the hype, the newsletter. We're dreaming up new things. So till then, yeah, keep watching movies and tune in the next episode. Kelly's gonna join us.
Thanks. Bye.